For the release of the AbaThembu King is Azapo, its Deputy Secretary. Mbulelo Ketye is with me now for you. Mr. Ketye, good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good evening, sir.
I presume you're quite pleased with this recommendation from the Justice Ministry to the President that the King be released.
We are overwhelmed. We are very happy that the King is about to be released by the President on a pardon, except that we're disappointed because we think that it was due yesterday. It's very late. He should have been released a long time ago. We've been campaigning for this release with traditional leaders and other stakeholders that are involved in this campaign, requesting President Cyril Ramaphosa to do what is required by law, pardon. He does not need any recommendation from anybody. It's his own discretion that he could have used yesterday. But we welcome that he is about to do it now.
Do you believe that King Dalindyebo should be pardoned because the courts got it wrong, because of the law, because the legal system failed, or simply because he's a king?
Well, we believe that the law failed us. The law in the country is Eurocentric. It's based on European values and norms. The king called a traditional court requested by the people in the village because there were people causing unnecessarily havoc in the village. And the traditional court, which this constitution of the country does not recognize, ruled that these people must be removed from the village. They were given time to leave and they didn't do so. That's what resulted in the incident that happened.
He burnt down their houses.
It's the village, it's not the king that burned down the village. It's the people, because the culprits were requested as per the decision of the traditional court that they must leave the area because of their behavior. When they refused to do so, the people in the village took the law up into themselves. But that shouldn't be the point. The point is our country does not recognize the value and the respect of authority of traditional leaders. We think that is a little bit on the wrong side.
Okay, the Constitution seems to have an internal conflict on this. Okay, there's one clause that's very simple. It says all are equal before the law.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. And then it also recognizes traditional leaders and customary law in various ways. Do you think there is a way that this conflict or discrepancy or inconsistency can actually be managed, or do you think it can only be managed by releasing the king in this way?
No, it can be managed. The release is another matter. It can be managed. The management of it is the amendment of the Constitution to recognize the authority of traditional leaders. It's not right that one step of the traditional leadership is inside the system, the other leg is outside it. So the system, the Constitution must be overhauled to accept and recognize the traditional leadership. As Azapo, we believe that should have long happened. By the way, the reason we insist on this is because it is unfortunate that it is this government, democratically elected by the people of South Africa, that does not recognize traditional authority. Yet, in the past, the colonial powers that ran us before 1994 humiliated, did all sorts of wrong things against traditional authority. It can't be correct that a democratically elected government follows the footsteps of our erstwhile oppressors.
Okay. In other applications for pardons, and particularly for parole, which is slightly different to a pardon in law, of course,
yes,
but one of the issues, that is one of the sort of elements that's taken into consideration, is how the victims feel. Sometimes it's the family of the victims,
yes,
in cases of murder.
Yes.
Do you think that the victims should be consulted? Would their views play a part in this?
In this instance, because this is a pardon, it's not a parole. It's a discretion of the president. By the way, the Constitutional Court, in a case Azapo versus the state, where we complained, we together with the Mklayenge and the Biko families, we took the state to court. The Constitutional Court ruled that the pardon by the president of the Republic is to satisfy the public interest, and the individual or somebody's right is superseded.
Mbulelo Ketye, thank you very much indeed for coming in. I do appreciate it. The Deputy Secretary General of Azapo.
Thank you very much.